In this tutorial, we will learn how to use equations in our curve to derive the dimensions of the curve. So basically we will be creating a dish head of a pressure vessel. So we want our pressure vessel's diameter to be, let's say, 500 mm. And let's say this is around 20 mm. This is basically the straight face of the dish. Okay, this is our round radius and this is called the knuckle radius of a pressure vessel. So basically the crown radius is always equal to the diameter of the pressure vessel and knuckle radius is equal to 0.1 times the diameter of the pressure vessel. So we want this radius to be equal to the diameter of pressure vessels, and we will give another knuckle radius as well. Click OK. Now to use equations to derive this dimension, go to Tools and click on Equations and click Add. Okay, we want this dimension to be equal to this dimension. Click OK and click on Add again, and we want our knuckle radius to be equal to 0.1 times of our diameter. So click on this dimension is equal to 0.1 into this dimension and click OK. And click OK. As you can see, these dimensions have been changed to reflect these equations. Let's just give a tangent relation between these two. Offset of, let's say, 5 mm and click reverse direction, and we will just close this sketch. We will be using the revolve command to make the dish head of the pressure vessel. Revolve, click the axis of revolution and click OK. Okay, there is some problem with the sketch, so let's have a look. Okay, collinear relations, revolve, axis of revolution, and as you can see we have created the dish head of the pressure vessel. So let's just edit this command, and if we will change this to, let's say, around 300, both these dimensions get automatically changed to 330 respectively. Let's say 300. As you can see, both the dimensions have been changed to reflect the change in the diameter. So this is a very good way to use equations to derive the dimensions of your sketch, so that we don't want you to change again the same dimensions over and over again. And now if you want to delete these dimensions, you can go to equations and click on delete equations and click on this all the equations and click the delete button. Similarly to, you can also edit or add more equations and so on. Okay, now we will see how to define a feature with equation. For that, let's start a new sketch. Let's give a dimension of around 500. Okay, let's set it by 10 mm, reverse direction, and click OK. Okay, suppose this is my shell of the pressure vessels and I want my length of the pressure vessels to be twice its diameter. So let's say we will just give it a random dimension, and now click on the surface and go to the dimension and double click on it. It will give you this modify window. Click on the small arrow and click add equations, and we have already selected the dimension which is boss extrude, D1 boss extrude. We want this dimension to be twice its diameter, so 2 into 500 and click OK, and click OK. As you can see, this dimension is 1000. So now if we will change this dimension, so let's say 300 and click rebuild, and it will become 600. Another way to do is to define global variables and link every dimension to that variable. So how we will do it, let's see. Click on delete equations, click this and click delete. Okay, now double click on 500 and click this arrow and click add equations, and we will say, let's say h d equal to 600 and click OK. Now this sketch will be equal to D. And just extrude this, extrude by mid plane, and now click double click on this one and click add equation again and go to D into 2. So if you want to change the dimension of the equation, you can just go to edit equations and say we want to change this diameter to, let's say, 500 and click OK. So this way we can control the entire equation by defining a global value which is 500.